when you told me about how your first wife was brutalized and how you dealt with that
Mm.
and having an experience like that. You could have been one of those people who looked at that experience and did just what your friend did,
Yeah.
blamed everyone, said there's no there's like this is just crazy as it was, as it is,
Mm.
and yet been a wounded, walk around wounded from it.
Mm.
You didn't.
Mm.
You didn't.
Mm.
You did something stronger. You did something. And for me, I mean, my example is one of Christ, the model in Him for our humanity, and that is to say, when faced with the most devastating experience that we can imagine, when it has happened to us, our response in that moment, in that situation, can go a lot of different ways. But the
Yeah.
model that I have been so inspired by in Christ and what I have tried in my own journey in some kind of ways to follow is to take in that moment and choose my higher angels and
Absolutely.
choose a greater good. Choose it.
Yeah.
You did that. You told me about that story long before my son was murdered.
Mm.
And let me just tell you, brother,
Mm.
as I sat with myself reflecting on what I need to do next, they had a young man arrested who was going on trial. They invited me to go to testify and to, in some ways, ensure that he got a very long prison sentence. I chose not to go.
Wow. Mm.
I can tell you, as your brother, I never, ever, ever had one moment of hatred to that young man who murdered my son. Never one moment of hatred towards him. And part of that came out of my own experience of having been a kid who committed a robbery and went to prison. And I grasped the weight of that and how absolutely destructive I became continuing that path. And so I thought about this young man and what who had murdered my son and what would be my response. Rather than going to that trial to testify against him, I went out to a juvenile rehabilitation center and made an appointment to go in and talk with some young men who were exactly like the young man who murdered my son. And my message to them is the only person that you are destined to become is the person you decide to be.
Wow. Powerful message.
Be a
Powerful.
good person today.
Mm.
Recognize that your power isn't dependent on defending a reputation that means nothing.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, brother, that I sat with the words that you said about your own horrific experience and the choice that you made for good, the agency that you used for
Mm.
good in the most horrific situation.
Mm.
That's what helped to inform my
Mm.
decision
Mm.
about how I would respond
It's amazing.
with the young man who murdered my son.
It's powerful, Khalil. I mean, I tell you, and if through our stories we can help and inspire young men to make the right choices and use that incredible gift of agency, because I think that that's the greatest gift we have, the gift to
Yes.
choose what kind of man we want to be. Do we walk around for the rest of our lives angry and as a victim and blaming others, or do we say, you know what, cannot change what happened, but I can change what I'm going to become.
Yes.
And powerful,
Yes.
man.